Welcome to Daily Scripture Reading. I do not own the rights to this music. Esther chapter 4. This is the Amplified Version. Esther learns of Haman's plot. Now, when Mordecai learned of everything that had been done, he tore his clothes in mourning and put on sackcloth and ashes, and went out into the center of the city and cried out loudly and bitterly. He went only as far as the king's gate, because no one was to enter the king's gate dressed in sackcloth. In each and every province that the decree and law of the king reached, there was great mourning among the Jews, with fasting, weeping, and wailing. And many lay on sackcloth and ashes. When Esther's maids and her eunuchs came and told her what had happened, the queen was seized by great fear. She sent garments to clothe Mordecai, so that he would remove his sackcloth, but he did not accept them. Then Esther summoned Hathach, one of the king's eunuchs, whom the king had appointed to attend her, and ordered him to go to Mordecai to find out what this issue was and why it had come about. So Hathach went out to Mordecai in the open square of the city, which was in front of the king's gate. Mordecai told him everything that had happened to him and the exact amount of money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasuries for the destruction of the Jews. Mordecai also gave him a copy of the text of the decree which had been issued in Susa for the Jews' destruction, so that he might show Esther and explain it to her and order her to go in to the king to seek his favor and plead with him for the lives of her people. Hathach came back and told Esther what Mordecai had said. Then Esther spoke to Hathach and ordered him to reply to Mordecai, saying, "All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces know that for any man or woman who comes to the king to the inner court without being summoned, he has but one law, that he is to be put to death, unless the king hold out to him the golden scepter, so that he may live. And as for me, I have not been summoned to come to the king for these last 30 days. So they told Mordecai what Esther had said. Then Mordecai told them to reply to Esther, "Do not imagine that you in the king's palace can escape any more than all the Jews. For if you remain silent at this time, liberation and rescue will arise for the Jews from another place, and you and your father's house will perish, since you did not help when you had the chance. And who knows whether you have attained royalty for such a time as this, and for this very purpose." Esther plans to intercede. Then Esther told them to reply to Mordecai, "Go gather all the Jews that are present in Susa, and observe a fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my maids also will fast in the same way. Then I will go in to see the king without being summoned, which is against the law. And if I perish, I perish." So Mordecai went away and did exactly as Esther had commanded him. The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.